Hey everybody, I'm Sierra.
I'm Ben.
And welcome back to another episode of The Unsolved Couple, where every week Ben and I recap one of your original gateway drugs in true crime.
Unsolved mysteries.
All right.
Every time we start to record, I all of a sudden, I'm like, I have to breathe. I have to take some deep breaths.
Deep breaths. Should we all, everyone just take a moment, and if you can, close your eyes.
No, I have a sniff.
Let's take a deep breath.
I have an itch. I'm not comfortable.
All of a sudden, this is like everything's at a 10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do our intro, and I'm like,
do you want me to pause it so you can let all your bodily functions taken care of?
Once I get in it, I'm good. But we start, and it's just, I'm a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Always a hot mess.
No, you're perfect in every way.
Oh, thanks, love. All right. Season 3, episode 7. That's what we're recapping.
Yes, you're right. You got to be excited about this episode.
Here. Yes, I am excited about this episode because this episode originally aired on Halloween night. It is actually, from my understanding, the only time an Unsolved Mysteries episode was on Halloween. And they laid into it. Yeah, they did. They embraced the spooky.
This is clearly a much funner.
Yeah.
Lighthearted.
Again, last week, sorry guys.
Yeah. There's one.
Yeah, my stories, it's sad. It is. But yeah, as far as the terrible things at times we have to talk about in Unsolved Mysteries, it's not the worst story out there. There's no children involved in this one, thankfully, unlike last week. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any fun stories between here and there that you want to share with everyone who cares?
I'll give people a little sneak peek about what they're about to get.
Okay.
Today. If you guys remember the story of the reincarnated lady, Georgia Rudolph.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to that episode, you need to go back and listen to it. Stop what you're doing.
Find that episode. Couldn't tell you which one it is. It's not too far back.
I could probably look it up.
And go listen to that one. Okay? Then come back and listen to this one because we have a continuance.
It's going to be season 2, episode 16. And
we don't have them numbered like
that.
It
was June 10th, and it's called Reincarnation, the murder of Steve Senlin and Thumper the drug dealer.
Thumper.
I thought that was the craziest name for a drug dealer.
I think it's an awesome name. But go listen to that one because today we got an update continuation of that one.
Mm-hmm. Ben's excited about it.
I don't know if I'm excited about it, but here's the thing. I actually did know this when I was doing the research. I'd come across this, but I didn't want to dive into it. I wanted it to come.
And Ben's been teasing me for 48 hours that he
24 hours.
It feels like 48. That he has a story to tell us.
About this.
But wouldn't give me any hints. So we're all going to learn about it together.
All right.
And Ben's going to start us off. So Ben, you have the floor.
Oh, that's right. I am starting.
I know. You guys, we literally talked about this no less than 4 minutes ago. And Ben was actually the one that said, you went first last week, so I'll go first today. And then he's like, I got to get my notes.
I got to get my notepad out. I got to get comfortable. Don't rush me. All right. I'm a sensitive man.
A sensitive man.
All right. I
don't think anyone has ever called you that in your entire life.
That's probably true. All right. All right, you ready to hear about the gray man?
I've been ready for a little while now.
Have you?
Yeah.
I don't think everyone else that's listening is ready yet. They're still trying to get comfortable.
Okay.
All right, we're going to hear about the gray man on Pawleys Island in South Carolina. All right. And he's a legend out there. Have you ever heard of this?
I had actually never heard about this, but I didn't grow up on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up out there. Okay. You know, Robert Stack comes in, he talks about ghosts and legends, and usually they're scary and people, you know, they're terrified. But the gray man, he's not a bad guy. Okay. He's actually a good guy. He's a good ghost. He's kind of the early versions of Casper.
No.
All right. Casper's a friendly ghost.
I understand that.
This man, he might be friendly. All right. So
unless he can ask me, can I keep you? I don't want anyone compared to Casper.
All right.
Okay.
So the legend of the gray man starts in the summer of 1822 when a young man was riding to a plantation on the island, and he had to get there because he's about to get married to his young bride. This was a quote from Robert Stack.
Mm-hmm. I think Robert Stack was a romantic at heart.
I just think he was so elegant.
I know.
In the way he spoke, or the writers.
I have a feeling here's the thing. There are some things that he said that I'm like, I can only imagine he rolled his eyes having to say that. But then other times I'm like, oh, I think that was him. I should do some research to see how much of his copies did he write.
Yeah.
I'd be interested.
What are you typing over there?
I'm going through our new downloaded places so that I'm ready to go when it's my turn.
You weren't ready when we started?
No, I'm tired. It's late.
Oh, dear. All right. He says this. This was a quote. He's trying to get there quick because Robert Stack tells us he was overcome with youthful emotion and impatience.
You know what that made me think of?
What do you think he was impatient about in 1822?
I think he wanted...
I'm
trying to think of something PG.
We're going to move on. We can't. Anyways, so he
wanted to play patty cake.
All right.
And everyone who smiled just now will know exactly what that reference is.
Jessica Rabbit.
Ben got the biggest grin on his face when I said patty cake. That was like a teenage boy idiot grin too.
That was funny.
I loved it.
All right. He fell off his horse and he drowned in the marsh.
Okay, but that takes a bad turn.
Yeah. And so, this is a tragedy right before his wedding and his impatience.
Mm-hmm.
So, his bride-to-be, she's devastated. She ends up going out and she just wanders the shore alone looking for her, the ghost of her fiance. And supposedly, she saw a shadowy figure on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And then that night, she heard a voice from this thing, a dream. Says, leave the island. The wind is coming. So supposedly the next day they left the island and a hurricane hit. And they come back. They think all their possessions, their plantation is gone. Nope. Nothing happened to their plantation. It was spared.
There you go.
All right. So that's the legend of it.
That's the lure. Yeah.
Okay. Then we get another story. At the turn of the century, there was a man, and he says that as he's walking along, he's herding animals off the island because supposedly there's a storm coming. He sees a man walking along the marsh, wherever he is. And he says, hey, mister, You better get out of here. There's a storm.
Get on out of here, you
coming."
hear?
And he just ignores him and keeps walking. Okay.
Okay.
And he's like, fine, do what you want.
Yeah.
Right? Hurricane comes and they go back the plantation for that family with the animals.
Yeah.
Spared. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Can you believe that? All right. 1954. Hold on, I'm trying to read my notes here. The Hurricane Hazel. And this lady tells us that he was seen along the beach.
Mm-hmm.
She was walking down the beach, or she tells us of the story of someone that saw him walking down the beach the day before the hurricane. Hurricane Hazel comes. Everyone else's house is destroyed, but this man's house was
spared.
To the point she says there was even towels still hanging over like the balcony.
Yeah,
railing.
like literally nothing. She
Yeah.
said, I think like their back door blew open. Like that was it.
All right. Fast forward. September 22nd, 1989. Hurricane Hugo is coming. Okay. And it hits the Carolinas. It's a massive 135 miles per hour.
That's so much wind.
Yeah. 9,000 homes were destroyed.
Ugh.
And at that point, they said billions of dollars, which of damage is done. Terrible. But we meet these people we actually get to talk to, Jim and Clara Moore. And they show back up. Their neighborhood is destroyed. And get to their house. Nothing is wrong with it. And they're just like, what? No way. And they're like, how did this happen? And they then remember 2 days prior, they were walking down the beach and he said it's usually pretty busy, but it wasn't that day. There was practically no one on the beach.
Yeah, beach was empty.
And they see a guy coming. Did you notice what he said?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought you'd pick up on
No. What'd he say?
He says he sees the guy coming and he says, well, you have to say hello.
That's a very South Carolina sort of trait. Yeah. You can't walk past someone and not be respectful enough to acknowledge them.
He said he has to say hello, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
you
don't
the South
get that
for
in
you.
a lot of places. So he goes to say hi to the guy and poof. Like as they're passing, he disappears. And both him and his wife are like, what is going on? And this had happened 2 days prior. And they're like, this must have been the gray man.
The gray man.
Protected. And I do again, I love what he said. He said, our house was spared by, he goes, I want to say it was spared by the power of the gray man. He goes, but it was also spared by the Lord, of course.
Yeah, that's again the South for you.
And I was like, yeah. Of course. And he goes, I never believed in ghosts, but after what I've seen, I do now.
Yeah.
So is there a man that walks the beaches and warns people or just is a good
omen or a good luck
omen for people before
guardian angel, whatever you want to call it.
And that called the gray man.
Trying to save people so that they don't lose their life like he did on the beach.
Yeah. Except for, 9,000 people did lose everything.
Yeah. Sugar. Huh? That's too bad. Dang it. Yeah.
But at least the Moore's house was spared. So that's the legend of the gray man.
All right. Any update on it?
Well, what do you think? What do you think the update is? Of course, it's a ghost.
Yeah.
So he's still very much believed. I was going to say
this, from my understanding, I didn't do a ton of research about this, but this is a widely accepted and
So I did send you. So I was.
You did. You sent me a couple of screenshots.
So before Hurricane Florence in 2018, there is a picture from some type of kind of a shadowy figure walking along looks like
pier
a
dock of something. Yeah.
And of course, everyone in South Carolina or that it's sharing it say, "This is a gray man."
Yeah.
But there's no actual stories of anyone's house being spared.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to guess not everybody. I don't know. I don't know anything about Hurricane Florence, so I don't know. And then in 2022, trying to think what hurricane. I'm not sure which hurricane. I should have wrote that down. But there's also another picture of a man, just a dark figure walking along the beach. Obviously, people, these are not great. They literally could just be a human being walking on the beach. But of course, this surfaces and everyone's like, it's the gray man.
I have a great idea. This new trend now with minor league baseball teams having silly names.
Okay.
If there is a team in South Carolina, they should name themselves the Gray Man. Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, of course, these were on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. I found them in articles.
It's called X Boomer.
Okay. Sorry. And,
except you're
this
not
is
boomer.
like the news actually puts this
no, that's
out.
what I mean. It seems to be this like beloved. Remember, it was like the ghost lights in Texas.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is our ghost, and he keeps some things safe, or he tries to warn people, or what have you not. Did you look and see if there was actually any real correct origin if some guy died on the beaches down there?
Not that we can find.
Oh, okay.
Not that. No solidified
death
story.
records or story of this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No name to the gray man.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I do believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
I do believe. I mean, I've said this before. I believe in a world after this. So, I do believe people walk the earth at times. I don't know if there's someone going out and protecting. I don't know. I'm here for the legend.
Yeah.
I love that the town
has embraced it.
It just embraces it and is good with it. And you know what? If thinking you see something is a good omen for you and good comes from it and it causes no harm in your community or your beliefs, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So,
well, if anyone's from that area and has any stories or experiences with it, please reach out and let us know. Okay. You ready? Is that it? You're done? You got everything tied up in a bow?
I think so.
Okay. You feel satisfied with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Before I tell you about a story about a man named David Stone, I will let you know the new places we've been downloaded. So if you're joining us for the first time or recently have, and you downloaded us or you downloaded us while you were out and about traveling around, we're glad to have you. So Point Verde, Florida, Point Green, Florida. I only know that one word in Spanish. Boring, Oregon. Yes, guys, there is a town in Oregon named Boring, and its namesake represents the town for sure. It's not a lot to do there. All right, Dunstable. That's in England. Oh, good night. There's a town in Wisconsin, and I'm going to say it looks like Juna? Juneau. What's AU at the end of a word? I don't know. That's in Wisconsin. Villa Park, Illinois, excuse me. Illinois. There is an S on the end of Illinois. Reach out to us, Illinois, and let us know what you think.
They're not going to because you just said their state wrong.
Caddicott, Wales. I guarantee you that's not how it is said, but...
Repeat that.
Caldecott.
Caddicott?
Caldecott, Wales. Fayetteville, Georgia, and Brandon, Florida. So welcome. All right. I'm going to tell you a story of a missing man named David Stone, which just sounds like an awesome. I think like your last name is Stone, like so many cool things.
You're in for it.
I'm here for it. So he was a 29-year-old successful stock market analyst from La Jolla, California, also another place near and dear to my heart. I love that place. Who was deep into the New Age movement as he sought spiritual guidance.
What is the New Age movement?
It's crystals and like Native American spiritual beliefs and connecting to the earth and astrology signs, stuff like that. Very like 70s, early 80s sort of thing. Okay. A lot of cults got formed at this time because people were looking for non-religious religion. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. So for years, he had struggled with control and anger issues. And there's a couple of stories that they share about him kind of just being known as a hothead. We're going to find out later that he played a lot of football growing up. And what do we know about football players from that time? What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know?
He got hit in the head a lot.
There you go. And Brett Favre has been really big about this now, right? He's got like you're looking at me like I'm a crazy person. Have you not heard about this? He's helped a lot with doing research and trying to share and educate, I think, the harms of head injuries
CTE.
in football. Mm-hmm.
It's called, yeah. CTE.
And so to me, when I hear of someone who they don't understand why, and this is not just anger issues, like he loses his temper easy. We're going to go to find out that he had a violent outburst with his roommate and beat the crud out of him.
Okay.
So it's not just like he gets mad in traffic and flips somebody off or throws a book out the window. I don't know, but he cannot stop himself. Did you just wink at me?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I think you involuntarily winked at me, and I was
Maybe
like, what am I missing?
No, you're not missing anything.
Anyways.
I'm listening.
That's just my personal 2 cents, because I actually read a few things about this guy. And that's what I just wanted to put out there. So this all kind of comes to a head October 28th, 1988. That was the day he was at his apartment and he got into an argument with one of his friends and violently hitting him repeatedly over and over and over again. And this was like the breaking point of his violent outburst. That day, David told his friends and family that his behavior was starting to like really get to him. And he had thought about going on a walkabout to reflect on his conduct and said he would return in a few days. According to Deputy Sheriff Bill, the investigating officer, on the morning of
October 31st,
Halloween, 1988, he walked into the desert, and this is a weird point of reference, but I'm going to give it to you like they said to us, 145 miles east of Tucson, Arizona. Isn't that a weird, this is, I think, in New Mexico by this time.
Yeah, wouldn't you be by Las Cruces?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, what a weird point of reference, but that's what Unsolved Mysteries tells us.
Mm.
At around dawn, a farmer spotted who they believed to be David walking down a dirt road. The farmer pulled over, briefly chatting with him, as it was seldom for him to see random people in this remote part of New Mexico. David told him that he was looking for the beast.
The beast.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The
we
farmer.
Don't get clarification on.
We don't get any more clarification on that. The farmer asked him if he needed a ride anywhere or anything at all like that, and he said no. Throughout the day, there was also several other local residents that had seen him and interacted with him in and around that same desert area. He was acting strangely. He had been talking to himself, walking through rough terrain. And I will say the other thing the farmer said is, now this is October in the high desert. I think people assume they hear Arizona and Tucson, New Mexico, all of this stuff, that it's just, here's the thing. It's hot here a lot. I get it. But in the high desert in the wintertime, our temperatures can range, like it could be 80 degrees, but at night it can get down into the 20s. It's these weird extremes that can be very dangerous. And the farmer was saying he was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, which not what you would wear if you were going to be out and about in the mountains in the middle of October.
Not at night.
Not at night. Absolutely. So 5 days later, his car was found abandoned along a desolate stretch of New York, Mexico, Highway 80, 14 miles south of Road Fork, New Mexico.
Road Fork?
Road Forks. There's an S on that one too. You going to look it up?
I'm just curious of where exactly this is.
Yeah, so they didn't say this in the episode. He was actually driving to El Paso originally. He was living in La Jolla, and La Jolla to Tucson is about a 6-7 hour drive. And that's like with traffic and everything. He was supposed to be the best man in his best friend's wedding in El Paso, Texas, a few days later. So he had told his family and friends he was going to leave, spend a few days doing this spiritual quest before finishing his journey on to El Paso. And he actually stopped in Tucson and pulled cash out of an ATM here and actually, like at midnight, and then around 4 a.m, filled up his car and paid cash at a gas station. So they tracked him from La Jolla to Tucson. And the thing that's crazy is that from here, if he was going to New Mexico, El Paso, he should have headed southeast, and he didn't. He went towards New Mexico, which is east-east.
No, that's the way you go.
You go through El Paso to go to New Mexico?
Well, El Paso is east of New Mexico. You got to drive through New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico. Okay.
To Texas. So you take I-10. It goes all the way. You go through, end up through Las Cruces and keep going. You hit El Paso.
Okay. Got it.
So
I've only driven that way once, but
I'm just looking at this. He just across the New Mexico border, and this Highway 80, it hits I-10. So he was just south of I-10.
Okay. Yeah. So he's on the right path as far as to his ending destination. Yeah. He didn't, because like the one guy we talked about that was from Washington, right? That was trying to get down where he went off in Wyoming somewhere. This guy was en route and on the correct path he was supposed to be going to. So David's family believed that he had gone on what you call a vision quest, which is common amongst people in the New Age movement. I looked up what a vision quest entails.
This
It involves going out, and this is Ben, as someone who works and has rescued people out in the desert, is going to hate this, but it involves going out into the desert alone for days at a time with no food or water in hopes to connect with like spiritual ancestors and to have visions. Ben, what are your thoughts on that?
This is a terrible idea.
He's like, please just don't do that in and around
that.
Tucson area.
Don't do that.
I don't want to have to come rescue you.
Just don't do that.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
It never ends well.
No, it doesn't. And yeah. So, because I was even interested, because there's nothing in here that says at all, in any way, shape, or form, that he was known to use drugs or if he was experimenting with LSD or mushrooms or whatever have you. And so I was trying to see all of the Vision Quest things that I read about, even on Reddit, none of them involved taking mind altering substance. The things I found about using peyote out in the desert doesn't involve a Vision Quest. That's like a sweat lodge and a whole different thing. So they are two different sort of ways to have visions out in the desert. So there's your new age juju stuff that I got for you. So it was discovered that David had left several mysterious clues after he vanished that appeared to be related to his new age philosophies. First, he left his car near a pyramid-shaped mountain. Pyramids are important symbols in this movement. As the search for him began, the trail head northwest from his car towards Granite Peak. Searchers found a pyramid of rock surrounded by a triangle. On the next day, another pyramid was found, and next to David's watch, he left his, what's the fancy Rolex? He left a Rolex out there in the desert in 2 quarters.
Well, you don't need it.
You're on a Vision Quest. You don't need your Rolex.
In 2 quarters.
In 2 quarters. 3 miles to the north, searchers found a string of numbers written in the sand, and that they are Fibonacci numbers. Okay.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. It says it's used by engineers and stock market analysis. However, instead of it ending in 21, which is what it's supposed to, it had written as 18. So everyone's wondering if this is a weird cryptic message, like his football college in Jersey was 18. Anyways, they're trying to figure out if this guy's sending hidden messages in some way. Bloodhounds tracked David sent back to Highway 80. However, they stopped at the highway intersection between 80 and Interstate 10, which is 13 miles north of where his car was found. While looking through the items, his parents found a strange business card in a pocketbook and a Bible. It belonged to a man named Tony, who was interrogated by the police, but claims he'd never met David. He had actually been camping in the area several days before. And David, Tony, I read later, he had gone camping out in the desert with a group of friends, and he had gone in early to help set up camp. And he'd said he left his business card sticking in between a rock somewhere so that his buddies who were coming in later knew where to turn.
Yeah, he said something about that on.
Yeah, so he wasn't sure if he had picked up the business card or whatever, but it deemed he had nothing to do with anything. So David's parents also found a really weird note that he had written, and it makes 0 sense, but I'm going to read it to you. They think the word is in the safe. 6 knives in Rob's room. Use, buy your tea, and use, take your chances, Halloween.
It's a riddle.
Yeah, I don't know what it means. I don't think anyone knows what they mean.
I think he knows what he means.
Halloween also just happened to be the day that David himself vanished. To this day, nobody knows what happened to him or why he acted strangely before he disappeared. And that's where Unsolved Mysteries leaves us.
All right.
A man walks out into the desert on Halloween and is never seen again, looking for the beast. That is pretty eerie.
A Vision Quest.
Yeah.
All right.
Update?
Update.
Unresolved.
Unresolved.
That's what it said. So February 23rd, 1992, 2 hikers discovered David's skeleton remains in the desert near Granite Gap.
Unresolved?
It's unresolved because they have no idea who, what, where, when, or why. Because his body, it was just skeletal remains. They cannot determine how he died, when he died, if there was foul play involved.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. Okay.
Okay.
A man walked out into the desert with no food or water.
Yep.
In an area where he doesn't know.
And how twisted can the desert get once the sun goes down?
No GPS.
Nope. Shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
rattlesnakes. Like, the desert, you guys, in these areas is no joke. We have mountain lions and bobcats and rattlesnakes and plants that leaves rashes on your bodies and bugs. And it's not easy terrain.
No.
Mm. And like washes that you can walk off the edge of a cliff when it's pitch black outside and not see what is like.
Well, and it's October 31st. It's November.
Mm-hmm.
The temperature swings literally. I'm not even exaggerating here. It can swing 40 to 50 degrees.
Yeah. It
can be 75.
I've never lived
day.
anywhere before here that like swings so much in temperature. It does a number to your body. Like that's when our whole household gets sick, is when it's 82 during the day and then 36 at night.
Yeah. It will easily swing 40 degrees in a day. So if you're out in the desert, I mean, the sun goes down and it gets cold real quick.
Real quick.
And if you like get in a wash, that cold air gets worse. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying I'm going out on a limb here.
So I feel like predators are even more like.
I'm just going on a limb that he might have been exposed to the elements with no resources, and that might have been the reason.
Yeah, the police eventually came out and said that they do believe that the death is likely by misadventure, is what they called it. But it's considered unresolved because they have no answers other than he died.
I'll give them this. At least they're willing to say this, because then if anything does come forward,
yeah,
they can. The case is technically still open for them to look at.
I mean, his wallet, his keys, his money, everything that they at least could find, there wasn't a lot left because of animals.
Yeah.
Nothing seemed to be taken off him as far as that goes. But
I found deer remains today, and it had been picked clean.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. That's what I meant when like the predators that live in the desert, their food sources are hard to find. Yeah. So the
bones were so clean today.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It had been freshly picked.
The mom is interviewed. It broke my heart to see her because she was like just wanting to their son is there one day and literally is driving.
He clearly was going through a lot, and it's unfortunate. I mean, I'm not here to tell anyone how to try to get right, because we all have our own ways. I do wish it when people try to get right, they still be smart about it, you know?
Yeah, tell someone what you're doing, where you're going to be, pack food, and please do not go into the desert with no water.
Don't go into somewhere where you're going to put yourself in danger, you know?
Yeah.
And yourself at risk. Anyways, I'm not here to tell someone how to do that, but it is too bad that
it is interesting. He was seen during the day acting erratically. That is a sign that your body is going through major dehydration and like.
It's just too bad that that's how it ended. You know, it's okay to try to find yourself, whatever. Like I said, trying to get yourself in a good space and make a change. It's just too bad that
we love a good therapized human being nowadays, however that means to you, but please be safe about it. And it makes me sad that this man unfortunately was trying to find his footing behind him or underneath him and square with himself in several ways and maybe try to make himself a better person. And it ultimately ended up costing him his life. Yeah.
And it hurt him and the people around him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. What story do you have next for us?
All right. I got the continuation of our reincarnation.
Yeah. Do you want to give any background at all? Like, do you want to give
like talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to go into great detail because we have talked about it. Well, we talked, you said back in June, about Georgia Rudolph. Okay, Georgia. And how's her voice to you, Sierra?
you know, I couldn't stand it. Actually, speaking of that, can we pause for a second so I can go fill up my water?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're back. I got my water. Do you know in other countries they do not put ice in their water?
Yes. Yes, I know.
What? Where do they get off? Do they know what they're missing with ice water? Do they understand?
Your privilege is showing. Did you like that?
That was a good one, babe. Very good.
Thank you.
I just feel like the world doesn't understand the joy of ice water.
You're probably right. But
I'm just finding out that it's something like people make fun of Americans for.
You know what? People make fun of us for a lot
No,
of
that's
things,
fine. I just think that
with
is such
it.
a weird thing. But I mean, here's the thing. We are the outsiders. This is not the norm.
You know,
and I don't just have 2 ice cubes in here. No. This thing is chocked full of ice.
Well, it's water.
I know. And it's better when it's ice cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Continue with your updated reincarnation.
You ready for update? Are you ready for reincarnation? Okay. So like I said, we told you about the story of Georgia Rudolph. She says that her whole life she had been plagued with visions of the turn of the century of this girl. You know, she would draw pictures, all
horse-drawn carriages.
Yeah, a boat,
a steamer
boat, a man in a derby hat. I don't understand derby hats. Okay, sorry.
I just think it was fashionable at the time.
Probably. Anyways, so it
was probably equivalent to a baseball hat on backwards.
No, absolutely not. And no, you don't.
There was a turn of the century. Who wore their hat famously backwards? What is that music singer right now? That Riley Green? No.
I don't know.
The country singer.
I don't know who you're talking about.
That walks into the house and throws the roses. Riley Green. Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You're just thinking about Riley Green.
I'm just thinking about you with your hat. I'm just thinking about you with your hat on backwards.
All right. Well, this guy wears a derby hat. Okay. So Georgia Rudolph went through regressive hypnosis therapy. Again. Who came up with this?
I don't know, babe.
And why did we run with it?
I don't know.
Anyways, so she then with excuse me, I'm very sorry. Dr. Douglas Smith. He's a clinical psychologist.
Uh-huh.
I'm worried. And she ends up telling him a story of Sandra Jean Jenkins, that's who she was in her past life.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's been reincarnated to Georgia Rudolph, but she was Sandra Jean Jenkins.
Obviously.
And she was engaged to a man by the name of Tommy Hicks. Okay, there's a lot more to this story.
Yeah, like I said.
We went deep into it, but I'm giving
Go back and check it out.
And Tommy Hicks had drowned in the Ohio River off this steamboater. And Sandra Jean Jenkins, okay, I am telling you this.
Mm-hmm.
This is all not true. Okay. Just don't take this as true.
If you're not going to go back and listen to the episode, Ben doesn't buy a single lick of what this lady's selling.
Nope. Absolutely not. So Sandra Jean Jenkins is going to marry Tommy Hicks, but she was pregnant with Tommy Hicks.
Of course she was. Which
kid.
Back then is a scandal.
Tommy drowns. And Sandra just can't take it. So she just walks out into the river and drowns herself. And that is your Romeo and Juliet story of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And now she's been reincarnated.
Mm-hmm. That was the very condensed version of what Unsolved Mysteries told us.
Yep.
Okay. Enter John Turnock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
John Turnock lives in Florida. And he's sitting on the couch. He's 36 years old and he's a professor. Okay? He's watching this broadcast at this time. It had aired in February of 1990. And he tells us, as he's watching, he's hearing the story.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
He says he's like gripping the couch. Yeah. He's just getting so nervous. And his wife is watching him.
Mm-hmm. And he's having a visceral reaction to a middle-aged woman sharing this story.
She was like,
so
she's
concerned.
40, okay? She's 40. Georgia Rudolph is 40 when she's telling us this.
40 adjusted for 40 in 1990 adjusted for inflation.
You can't do that.
She is like 63.
Whoa. I mean, 40 is young.
I said adjusted for inflation.
All right. So John is having a crazy reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what?
I'm watching TV with you and a woman's on the screen and you are gripping the couch cushions.
Yeah. No.
We're going to be having a serious conversation
at
the next commercial break.
Guess what? What do you think? Why? Sierra, why would John Turnock be
Because he was hearing his own story.
Exactly. He was hearing his story.
Mm-hmm. His whole life.
Feelings that he'd been having.
Mm-hmm.
And let this be known. John had gone under hypnosis therapy. Everyone is in hypnosis therapy. Just like everyone's now probably, seeing a shrink of some sort. Golly. Everyone's in hypnosis therapy back in the 80s, okay? And he went to see Dr. Bruce Crystal.
Mm-hmm. Classic last name.
Yeah.
You're a hypnotherapist and your last name is Crystal. Yeah. You leaned into that for sure.
And supposedly he went in September of 1988, over a year prior.
Yeah, hadn't even heard this story yet.
He'd been telling him about, he'd been having these visions and these dreams and these feelings of river and a turn of the century and boats and Tommy Hicks. You believe it? He was Tommy Hicks.
He was Tommy Hicks.
He's the reincarnated Tommy Hicks.
Mm-hmm. We got a love story on our hands.
Can you believe this?
No. Actually, I can't.
Shouldn't.
And here's the thing. I can believe a lot of things, but these two, I do not.
You shouldn't. Okay. All right. Hold on. All right. So we get Dr. Douglas Smith back.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, John, is that his name? John. Jack Turnock. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a lot of names because they're two people.
Yeah.
I could call them Tommy Hicks or Jack.
Yeah. Jack is Tommy. Man. Yeah.
Tommy is Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He goes, sees Dr. Douglas Smith. He gets hypnotized. And Douglas Smith, the clinical psychologist, he says, listen, I asked him all kinds of questions, things that he shouldn't have known, blah, blah, blah. He thinks that Jack is telling the truth.
Nobody could verify what he said because we never even knew if this person existed in real life.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So you telling me he's saying things that he shouldn't know means dibbly squibbity.
Mm-hmm. But they were, I mean, that's your story. There they are. Is he Tommy Hicks? Is he the reincarnated Tommy Hicks? Is he this man?
Okay. Update. Is this nothing?
What kind of update do you want?
I don't know.
So I gave you the update that Georgia Rudolph then became a psychic who started solving murders and made it onto another TV show.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This guy, I did find a man by the same name who was a professor in Florida.
Okay.
Still alive. He ended up being in Oregon. If it's the same guy, pretty sure it is. He fell off a thing into water, had to get rescued. But it made the news a lot. There was multiple articles. He fell off something, a cliff, fell in the water. He had to hold on to the side.
Can you imagine what he was thinking in that moment? Gosh darn it, I ended up in the same situation again.
Okay. So here's my story for you.
Okay. This is the wild story.
So, it is a little, because they mostly just tell you the story of her.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bring in this guy for literally 2 minutes and say,
yeah, they basically just recapped the thing again and was like, this guy also claims that.
He
Bada bing,
claims
bada boom.
to be Tommy Hicks. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I found an article.
Did they ever meet in person?
I found an article.
Shut up.
I found this article about the story of what happened and why Unsolved Mysteries doesn't have it.
Oh, okay.
So it's this 5-page thing. I will say this. I mean, this is kind of like, I don't know.
You want to give a disclaimer?
This is a PDF folder of someone doing an investigation on this claim.
Okay.
And this story.
Okay.
And he kind of gives the background and then some of the things that had happened and then kind of like gives this, here's the, that. But this is the section of this article, this paper. Mm-hmm. It's called The Joint Session. Hold on, and I'm going to read this.
Okay.
It's a little long. Just bear with me. Okay. The apparent link between his own past life recollection and those of Georgia Rudolph stunned and perplexed Turnock. I didn't know what to do with the information, he says. So he decided to deal with it by not dealing with it. And so 6 months passed. 6 months passed until one day he happened to turn on his television only to be confronted by yet another rerun of the disturbing Unsolved Mysteries segment. Once again, Turnock was both fascinated and agitated by the show. This time, his wife decided to do something about this disruption to her household. So she wrote a letter to Dr. Smith describing the situation. Smith contacted the show producers, who ultimately decided that Turnock was for real and that a follow-up show should be made in which Rudolph and Turnock would be videotaped during a joint hypnosis session. The filming, or rather the attempted filming, was done in Smith's office in Macon, Georgia. Turnock was not allowed to meet Rudolph until after he was regressed. During his regression, Turnock, as Hicks, recalled many details about his life and death on a riverboat named the NB Forest. Afterwards, Rudolph asked him where Hicks had proposed to Jenkins and where they were when she had gotten pregnant. Turnock replied that the proposal took place on a bench by the river. As for the conception, you walk from Gordon Green's house away from town on the road by the river. When you get to a cornfield, turn right. There's a small bluff overlooking the river where they used to go. That day, they had a nice picnic in the corner of the field.
As one does.
And that's where they made love and Sandra Jane got pregnant. According to Turnock, Rudolph's jaw nearly hit the floor. What I described was exactly what she had seen in her hypnosis session. Isn't it miraculous? She never claimed that before. But
now that she heard it, she's like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I've seen. Okay.
Sorry, I go back to my quoting. In the afternoon, Dr. Smith hypnotized both Rudolph and Turnock together. Turnock described the experience as being the weirdest part of all. We both went under fairly easily, and we began talking to each other as Tom and Sandra Jean.
Oh my goodness. Why don't we have footage of this?
It was the most surreal experience of my life. It was as if another person had taken over my body and I was watching it happen. Tom told Sandra Jean how he was sorry he left her that way. She forgave him. We held hands, reiterated our love, and said goodbye. It was incredibly emotional. I was so drained I couldn't move for half an hour. Jim Lindsay, the Unsolved Mystery director, was literally dancing around saying it was the best sequence they ever filmed. Trouble was, they did not actually film the session. Although the equipment was turned on, the cables were connected, and the scene was showing on the monitor, the videotape recorded nothing but static. How and why the bill... I'm sorry. Oh, I lost my thing. What?
I know.
How
Just
and
imagine
why
if you
this
had taken your
bewildering
notes on
failure...
a computer.
What's that?
Just imagine if you had taken your notes on a computer.
How and why the bewildered failure occurred is perhaps the biggest unsolved mystery of all.
That is nuts.
Wild.
What?
How do we not have that? If that happened, obviously this is a story.
Yeah.
Someone sounded legitimate. On track for these people.
Why wouldn't they have at least interviewed the guy that was supposedly there, like the producer that was there, and been like, yeah, I witnessed this. Unfortunately, we had a technical error.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Also, if you went under hypnosis, held hands with another woman, and professed your love to her,
and how sorry,
and had some weird emotional experience,
and talked about the time we were together,
I don't know where things would go after that. What a weird... And the wife started this ball.
I don't know. I'm bewildered by it.
It sounded like they were both... One, it sounds like the lady's a scam artist. It sounds like he was having a midlife crisis. He obviously ended up... He likes to end up in the river at times, apparently. I don't know. Learn to swim, my guy.
I don't know. It is a what? This, like I said, it was just
Don't
the
you think
update.
He needs a swimming lesson or two?
Well, in both lives?
Yes. Maybe the next one, he's definitely going to get it.
Well, he was saved. He was okay. He didn't die from that. This one, he was rescued. But yeah, wild story.
That is wild.
That they brought that. I mean, I was surprised when they said this. I was like, wait, why aren't we seeing them like together?
I know. That's the only thing I was excited for.
So that's why I do think that
segment was weird. Yeah.
Yeah. And they attempted it, but lost everything. And you can't redo it.
I just would have loved to see them like hugging each other and like talking to like I wanted a non-hypnotic like session.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'd have been interested to see where that goes.
So the reincarnated Tommy Hicks.
You think they ever hooked up?
I'm not even going to entertain that thought.
There was emotions going left and right in that room.
From a past life.
Yeah.
That's not who they are today. Okay.
Okay.
That's not who they ever were.
But it wasn't really cheating because it was like, that was my past life person hooking up with his past life fiance. So it doesn't count, babe. Can you imagine someone using that excuse? That's what the Coldplay guy needs to. That wasn't me. It was the guy from my past life. All right. Okay, you ready to learn about a woman named Katie?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I dug.
Full stop.
I dug.
That's all the information about her that we have is Katie the Gold Leaf.
They don't even tell us where she's from, but I did find out where she's from.
I did also find out she's from Florida.
Yep.
What's with the weird people in Florida? Florida, are you okay?
No, you can't do that. There is weird people everywhere.
I understand, but in this alone, we've got reincarnated dude and Katie, both from Florida.
Yeah, but the Georgia Rudolph lady is not from Florida. She's from somewhere else. This is a bunch of weird people. Crazy. There's crazy people out in the world.
Okay. So this is labeled as an unexplained.
Oh.
A Florida housewife named, in air quotes, Katie, has been able to, 1, predict the future, 2, write in foreign languages unknown to her, 3, produce golden gems out of thin air.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
No, there's no reason to. I said what normal things people can do.
Produce
golden gems out of thin air.
Mm-hmm. But she's just a lonely housewife.
Yep. Okay. So she claims that her first unusual experience occurred back in 1974 when she saw a random man walk through her house while she was in the kitchen doing the dishes, walk past her and into her bedroom.
And she didn't think that was weird.
Nope. She turned the water off on the sink, turned heel, casually walked into her bedroom. As one does when they see a stranger
in their house.
Yep. And to her surprise, she couldn't find him. And it was weird because the windows were locked. He had just disappeared.
Okay. Time out.
Mm-hmm.
What would a normal person do?
If a man walked into my house.
You saw a man walk through your hallway and then you went looking for him and you couldn't find him, would you say,
no, I'd pee my pants.
And say, maybe I should get out of the house and call the
911.
police.
Yeah. Yeah. If I was in the kitchen, I'd have a knife in my hand as well. I wouldn't be chill about it.
She was, according to her, just chill.
Just chill. Yeah, no, I would have the opposite reaction. And the last thing I would do, unless there was something unless my children were back here, if a man walked past me and walked down the hallway to my bedroom, I am not following him. So, and then I'm quickly calling the cops. However, several days later, she's home and her husband brings out an old family photo album. So, all right, kids, back in the day before cell phones, how many photos do you have on your phone right now? I thought this would be fun.
Well, I mean, I've had an iPhone for a while.
Same.
Let me see. 2095.
Okay.
And my first one goes back to, let's see. I think it starts in 2017.
Okay. Do you want to take a guess how many photos I have on my phone?
I can only imagine it's like 30,000.
Okay. Well, that's a little much, Turner. Calm down. 15,000.
Adjusted for inflation.
It's
30,000.
An old timey. And mine start back, though my first photo's from 2011 on here.
Yeah, but that's not from.
Yeah, because I had an iPhone. It's a picture of selfie in the mirror when I was 9 months pregnant with the twins. 2011. Okay. But back in the old days, before you just had photo albums on your phone with a couple photos, you had to put them in a book, printed them out, put them in a book. And we called these photo albums. And her husband brings out a family photo album. While looking through it, she sees the man that walked through her house. And she says, oh my gosh, that's him. That's the guy that walked into my bedroom the other night.
That I wasn't worried about.
And he's like, that's impossible. That's my father. And he's been dead for years. It reminds me of the old, do you ever hear that hitchhiking story?
Maybe.
Like a girl picks up a hitchhiker and he's like, can you drop me off? Da 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 da. And then she recognizes him later because
he's been dead
for years. Yeah. And obviously she had never met this man before. And so what does that tell us about her?
She's a psychic.
Yep. Mm-hmm. A few months later, Kate went to the police, to an investigator named Jerry. And Jerry's a big fan of Katie. And I don't know if she inserted herself into this conversation or if he had heard about her. We don't get any background on that.
No.
But somehow...
They don't want to give us details.
They do not give any details. Somehow she's able to identify the home of where a burglary had taken place.
Why? Why? I just want to know, why is she being involved in this?
I don't know. We don't get any more information.
And of what use is this? You're quizzing her. Here's the thing. He says, he tells a story.
And identified that a jewelry box was stolen.
But he originally says that she led him to the house.
Yeah.
She didn't know the house. And she said, it's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you testing her like that, dude?
Yeah.
You know where the break-in happened.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, me too.
I completely forgot. Can you just help me?
I'm worried.
I am too. And she identified that a jewelry box was stolen from a home break-in.
Wow. That's mind-blowing.
I know.
Are you telling me people take, back in the 80s, people take jewelry boxes out of houses?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why didn't she say the flat screen was
I don't.
Oh, that's right. There's no flat screen.
There's no flat screens back then. It's a plasma screen, and it's got it on a swivel. I can pull it out on the wall.
Finally broke down and brought this.
All right. So later that day, for some reason, she's still in this car with Jerry, Detective Jerry. They're just driving around the town of mysterious Florida.
Just looking for crimes.
Looking for crimes.
Looking if she detects a crime.
Does Jerry need...
Batman is out there.
Does he not have things to do in Florida? Is there not alligators being tossed into drive-through windows? Like, what is he doing with his life?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's rolling around with her, seeing she throws up the bat signal, and she detects a crime happening.
Well, she's going to. She's going to detect a crime.
Of course she is.
Kate, while in the car, starts to smell devil's lettuce.
No.
She says, did somebody hit a skunk?
No, that's not what happened.
No, she smells marijuana. Dun, dun, dun. Although the police officer could not smell marijuana. She then went on to mention, you guys, no joke, has like her head out the window like a dog and is smelling and telling him where it gets stronger. And then tells him, stop, it's right here.
Stop in the name of the law.
And she said, marijuana is going to wash up on this beach in 2 weeks. There you go. That's what she says.
Okay. Well, what happened? Tell me. Please don't say that marijuana washed up.
It did.
Of course it did.
Yeah. 2 weeks later, 25 bags of marijuana wash up. However, in my side research, I found that police had claimed that this was a common occurrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shocking that smugglers smuggle in the same areas.
And Florida beaches are well known to be that. Yeah. It's a problem there. So.
And I'm going to guess it was a big problem. A little more back then.
Back then, yeah. That would be like me telling you 10 years ago, there's going to be marijuana found in the desert.
That's like saying there's going to be a bum on this corner in LA.
Yeah.
He's going to move in right
there. Yeah. I mean, you're stating something that everyone knows is happening all the time. Okay. And then another weird thing starts happening. This is where Katie gets most infamous. In 1986, Katie begins producing gold foil from her pores.
No, she doesn't.
Ben, this was videotaped several times
wasn't.
by her psychiatrist. As this is what we are told on Unsolved Mysteries, that this is videotaped.
In my side research, it never happened.
Exactly.
It never happened.
Yes, same thing. I was like, who vetted this girl before she made it to Unsolved Mysteries?
I don't know. The producer that doesn't know how to hook up the camera.
Yeah, same guy. He's like, I'm already down here in Florida with the Hicks man. Might as well get this lady on. So it appears on her eyes, her face, her ears, her mouth, her arms, her thighs, her stomach, and her back.
Nope.
She's produced this more than 100 times.
No, she hasn't.
In some cases, it even appears on nearby objects, such as a framed picture of her deceased mother.
On her tongue, too, right?
Yep, on her tongue. Which I read in later research, someone mentioned that illusionists are really good about misleading people by paying attention to one thing while they sleight of hand something else.
What?
And making you look at my tongue means that you're not looking in the small of my back or what my hands are doing underneath my shirt or on my arms. I thought that was some guy brought up, he's like, that is a classic technique. Because when it would come on her tongue, she would claim that she couldn't get it off. So she would make people take tweezers and peel it off of her tongue for her. Yeah. So they actually sent this material off to be tested, and it came back 80% copper, 20% zinc. That's going to be important here in a few minutes.
Sure is.
In July 1990, Katie was videotaped having a diamond fall out of her eye.
You mean her hand?
Yeah. She was also shown producing a gold chain from her ear and other objects from her mouth. Witnesses have reported seeing several other objects appear from nowhere, produced from her body. However, the biggest skeptic, and I will say this is the first time I've seen Unsolved Mysteries bring in a counterpoint.
I was happy to see this.
Yeah, I knew that this was going to make Ben happy. Professor Paul
Whoa.
Kuntz.
We're going to have to cut that out.
Professor Paul Kuntz. And that's not even it. It's Kurtz. C-U-R-T-Z. Oh, dang dyslexia. Good night. All right. Kurtz believed that she is a clever fraudster. He legitimately calls her out on this.
I know,
Big
and
time.
I'm with him.
Yeah. He's like, that's fine if other people want to believe that she's got mysterious powers, but I think she's clever and she's interesting, but she's just good at what she does. And he actually puts it to a test. He has his students recreate the foil thing, and they go down to the local craft store and buy gold leaf foil, which is available anywhere.
And what is that made of?
Exactly 80% copper and 20% zinc.
What?
Yeah.
So
and I also read that he had her blood tested because he said that if you had that much copper and zinc in your body, it would kill you.
Yeah, I know.
Her blood work came back clean. She has no extra minerals in her blood.
I'm sure.
Her salt, sweat glands, nothing is producing minerals in any way, shape, or form that can be. But I would say her psychiatrist is written books about this. He believes this hook, line, and sinker.
Sure does.
It makes me wonder where his credentials came from. But he's her biggest professor of truth. And then Professor Paul Kurtz he even has a magician come in and watch the video of her diamond dropping out of her eyeball and is like, oh yeah, that's just a simple sleight of hand. You can stick a small object right here between your fingers. No one can see it. You can move your hands around. And once you kind of just spread those fingers far enough apart, the object falls out. So the biggest thing about this, and I don't know why, she's never tried to profit off of these abilities. I will say she didn't try to go on. She's never written a book about it. She's never made a TV appearance. She drops off the face of the earth after this. Her name is not known. I thought for sure someone by now would have found out her identity. No, we still do not know who this woman is. Mm-hmm. She's videotaped or she's, interviewed. So I did some more background research on her childhood.
Yeah.
It seems she got pulled out of school in like second grade. She grew up very poor with not knowing how to read or write.
Yep, that is a little convenient for her claim that she can all of a sudden read and speak another language.
It just seems more like it's a memorized thing. It's not that hard to learn how to
I'm saying everything.
Write the same passage over and over and
what
over
I'm saying
again.
Is everything we know about her is what she's told.
Yes. Yeah, fair.
If you don't know who she is.
Mm-mm. Yeah, there's no way to verify any of her story.
She also said that she has diamonds that come out of her eye and gold that comes out of her pores.
Yep. And that she sees dead people.
Yeah. So, call me crazy, but I take whatever else she says.
And I will say, the fact that she wasn't willing to give her name to me was the biggest red flag that she was a fraud.
Yeah.
Because then I bet nobody could verify anything.
Yeah.
And I looked, there is not a single video of her producing a single thing.
Oh, I know. I read this.
There's videos of things falling out of her eyes and her ears, and she's acting like a crazy person before it happens. So again, misdirection. When someone is freaking out and shaking their body, you are not paying attention to what they're doing with their hands. But there's not a single video of her producing this stuff without her hands or feet or arms being involved. And there's no evidence of her producing this coming from her pores. She just looks like she hairsprayed gold leaf onto her body.
The video, and this is even 80s video of her in the diamond coming out of her eye.
Yeah.
Listen, I have zero magical abilities whatsoever. And meaning a sleight of hand that I just don't have those skills. It is clear as day. She's has her head tilted down, takes her hand and is rubbing her eye. And you literally see her spread her middle and index finger apart. And the diamond falls.
Guys, and she's not rubbing her eye with the tips of her fingers.
No.
Like you would normally do.
She's has her
rubbing
head,
her eye with like where your fingers and your hand meet. Like a really weird, like.
That's what I say. She tilts her head down. So her hair is down and you can't see a lot. And you literally see her spread her fingers and all of a sudden, poof.
There it is.
Here it comes. It just drops down. It is clear as day.
Yeah.
That she had that in her hand before.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, she's never on Oprah. She's never on Sally Jesse Raphael. She's never on, the Good Morning Show with, what's his name? Who are the Kathy Grifford and
Regis Philbin?
Yeah. Nothing. She's like not on any of there's nothing.
I know.
She drops off the face of the earth. I think she did this for, I don't know, something, and then maybe realized when that guy came in and kind of pushed back a little bit that she realized maybe she wasn't going to be able to pull this scheme off. That's my guess, is that she was hoping to take it farther maybe after this aired, and then.
So you didn't find any other updates on her or anything?
I found a book that her psychiatrist wrote.
Well, it's not the guy that was interviewed.
No, it's his like colleague or something. Yeah.
Stephen Broad.
Yeah. One random person on Reddit was like
Stephen E. Broad
claimed that that was his grandmother and that she's like super powerful. But again, that's on Reddit. Could have been any weirdo saying that from their basement. Yeah. I mean, nothing
Yeah.
I mean, I did find one Reddit thread that people believe it's real and they get mad when people say that it's not. That was an interesting post to go down.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I do think, because they had some witnesses on there. And there's a lady on there, and she swears that she saw this all happen in front of her eyes.
Well,
and she
tells the story that they were peeling the stuff off her tongue, and she was holding one of her hands while doing so because it was like painful, right? She acts like this is painful. And that when she looked down again, there was gold on her arm. Redirection.
No, I understand.
And I think magicians are fascinating. Like that Justin Williams guy, we've seen him twice now. I don't know how he does that stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you have these witnesses and they swear by it because they said, I saw it right in front of my eyes and this happened. And I understand that because I have watched magicians and I have no understanding or ability of how they do what they do.
Yeah.
We've seen that Justin Williams guy.
We saw Stefan Bargetzi or whatever his name is.
Yeah, we've seen Nate Bargatze's dad.
Yeah, I think it's Steve or something. Yeah.
And his dad is a magician. And we saw him and we were sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
Literally. You went on stage.
Yeah, I interacted with him with a $1 bill or something, or a $5 bill. Yeah.
So we watched. And
well, same thing with Justin Williams. I got called up for the printer thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I have no idea how they do what they do.
No. But I know.
But I also know, and they will also tell you it's a trick.
It's a trick.
They're not going to tell you how they do the trick.
No.
But it is a trick.
Yeah.
Here, you just have someone that's just unwilling to tell you it's a trick.
Yeah.
And so if people see it and they say it's not a trick, this is what's happening, and you play it well, then yeah, they're going to get on a Reddit forum and be like, absolutely, this is true. I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
I believe it. I'm like, yeah, no, it's just a trick.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she's just a subpar amateur magician.
But it is crazy to me because I dug into this quite a bit.
Did you find anything?
So I went down at least an hour plus or longer rabbit hole of this, even though like this wasn't even mine to dig into. No. But I dug in on this doctor.
You dug in on the doctor. That was a route I didn't take.
I watched 2 interviews this guy did. Stephen A. Broad. He wrote a book in 2007 on this.
Yeah, it's for sale on Amazon right now. It doesn't have great reviews.
Yeah, 2007. And this guy supposedly, he buys in. He says he's done all this. His thing about the gold paper. He's like, yes, it is gold paper. He goes, but we had magicians try to do it. And that he said the gold paper, it's too flimsy. It sticks to you. So you can't put it where you want it to, but it's just too hard to work with. So it is impossible for her to have done that. It's not a trick because we tried. Other magicians couldn't do it. It's too hard to work with it. I'm like, yeah, but dude, if this is your stick, you have mastered it.
Yeah.
Every magician has their stick.
It's just a trick that you haven't sold to the Magician's Academy yet. Like, because that's the thing, every magician I know personally, and they've shared stories and stuff, if you listen to them, that's the other way that they like make money, is that they learn how to they master a trick and then they sell that trick to other magicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of magicians have their shtick that they have mastered and they spent their whole life doing. And if you then ask another magician to come in and try to do it, if they've never spent any time.
Yeah, they're likely not going to be able to recreate it.
And this isn't a dig at magician. I'm saying like to do these things, it takes.
Well, it's an art form and it's a respect. And it's, I mean, here's the thing. A normal magician, outside of your normal sleight of hand stuff, an actual like complete illusion like that.
But this guy, he's still to this
I know.
day.
I know.
Hook, line, and sinker on this, that this happened in this lady.
Like I said, I am the least skeptical out of us in this room right now. I love to believe kinds of crazy, weird things. And instantly, I've worked with gold leaf before. The line, like the whole way it is, I'm like, no. This lady is putting this on her. It's not hard to do.
Yeah. I mean, it was clear as day. Mm-hmm. It was almost embarrassing.
It was embarrassing to watch the video and the way she's reacting, fake violence, like fake violently seizures and stuff is uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. So we agree on that.
We do agree. Okay.
Look at us.
We agree on the reincarnated.
We do. We're making strides. Look.
I've brought you to my side.
No, I'll tell you this. There might be a lot of things that divide us, but the majority of things bring us together.
Okay.
There you go. I read that on a Snapple one time.
On a Snapple?
Remember on the inside of Snapple used to have sayings? Something like that.
I don't really. I just always just played with the cap. I like to snap it a lot.
All right. Okay. That's our recap. Season 3, episode 7. All right, Ben, speaking of weather, we talked about these hurricanes. We've experienced flash floods here in Tucson, Arizona. What sort of extreme weather do you hope to never, what is the scariest extreme weather to you with tornadoes, hurricanes, tsunamis, all of this stuff, earthquakes, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da?
You know what? Almost all of them.
I understand almost all of them, but what to you is do you think's the most scary for you? And this could be different for every single person because they all are extreme.
I would have to say a flash flood or a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Those two
freak you out.
Yeah. Because obviously the terrible thing that happened in Texas. Just the thought of that
is terrifying.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you get caught in that, there's nothing you can do.
Is there any of these that are just kind of that doesn't really stress me out?
Tornadoes. I love tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're fascinating.
I do too. Yeah.
I wouldn't even, if I saw one touch down. Yes, obviously, that is going to scare anyone because it is literally an act of God.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no stopping it.
It's a natural disaster, right?
Well, yeah. Any of these, there's no stopping it. There's really nothing. But if I saw one of those, I would love to watch it from a distance.
Yeah.
Just because they are so fascinating.
You'd go out with the storm chasers?
Oh, yeah. If that was a real job, I don't. It is.
Yeah.
No, I know, but it is not what they've made 2 movies about.
I don't know. If there are any storm chasers out there and you want to have the unsolved couple on, reach out.
I do. Obviously, there are people that chase them, but it's not like there is.
Glenn Powell's not out there with his white, wet T-shirt?
No, his backwards hat.
That's what I was under the impression of.
That's what you were looking for? Yeah. You were heading to Oklahoma?
That's the kind of tornado I'm looking for.
Yeah. But if that existed, that would be, that'd be a fun job.
Yeah.
But no. At least with hurricanes, you sometimes know and you can get out of the way. You can leave. You can batten down the hatches. But man, I think a flash flood. I guess you just stay away from the river, but
you don't build a floodplain. That's.
But what happened in Texas, that thing rose so fast.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way.
It was sad because if you actually look at a map, and it could have been because of the way. Anyway, there's a lot that could go into this, but people don't always take into account the floodplains when they build structures. And that is something, if you live in a flash flood area, that really should be paid attention to. Yeah. But
what's yours?
I am terrified of earthquakes.
Oh, really?
Well, there's no way to predict them. Hurricane, tsunami, tornadoes, and even flash floods at times. Most of the time, we live in flash flood area and we get warnings to stay out of certain areas. All have some sort of prediction. It's maybe not 100%, but it is very widely studied. And a lot of the times, even sometimes hurricanes, weeks in advance, you know. And tornadoes, you can build underground shelters. And I'm not saying everyone has the luxury of doing that. But unless, I guess, you're in the middle of an empty field when an earthquake happens, there is no warning. What are you supposed to do? You can't escape it. You can't say, hey, there's an earthquake warning. We're going to go to the higher grounds, or we're going to go here, or we're going to go here, or we're going to go to our underground bunker.
It's going to get you no matter where you go.
It's going to get you.
No matter where you go.
And fault lines terrify me. Like, I remember when we lived in Portland, there's a fault line off the Oregon coast somewhere. And we didn't ride the Max very often. But I remember one time I went down to the farmer's market and you could take the Max directly to it. And the Max goes under the ground for a little while.
It rides between Portland and
Hillsborough.
It goes in the tunnel to the zoo.
Through the zoo. Under the zoo.
There's a stop at the zoo, and then you keep going through the tunnel.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a ways.
Yeah. And I had this intrusive thought hit me as we are going down in this tunnel. What if that fault line that is like 200 years past the time it's supposed to have, like...
It's always past.
I know. What if that went off right now?
You're
and I like
stuck in the tunnel.
I couldn't breathe. Because from my understanding, that fault line, like Oregon, half of Oregon is supposed to just basically fall into the ocean. It's gone. Portland is dead upon arrival. DOA. California, like San Francisco, they just terrify me because they are crazy. And then the other thing, thanks to Dante's Peak, is volcanoes, which is, I guess, kind of another natural disaster. And dude, Yellowstone is nutso bananas. Yellowstone is sitting on like the biggest earthquake in the world. And if that thing goes off...
Earthquake or volcano?
Volcano, sorry. And if that thing is to erupt, and it's also past due...
Everything's past
due. The cloud of ash that comes out is supposed to like keep the world dark for like 2-something years. I don't remember. It could be 20 years. It could be 2 days. I don't know, but it terrifies me. So, volcanoes and earthquakes, no thank you.
You're staying away.
That's actually the one weird time that living in Arizona is actually the benefit, because I looked at the map, at the earthquake maps and the Yellowstone volcano map. We're good down here.
We're safe.
Yeah, I mean, here's the problem is if the sun gets blocked out for too long, it kills all the plants, and then animals start to die off, so food sources might be a little...
We'll cross that bridge.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah. Hurricanes, winds are fascinating to me. I think they're so cool.
Yeah.
And then tsunamis are scary. But
they're all terrifying.
They're all terrifying. And I've watched too many end of world movies that involve one of those things going crazy. So, All right, everybody. That is our episode. Check us out again next Tuesday when Ben and I will be back here once again to share with you one of our favorite TV shows.
Your favorite TV show, not mine. Unsolved Mysteries.
Bye.